that's... Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to this channel. It feels like it's been forever. If you are new to this channel, we do make family vlogs, but I started off by making mommy videos and I missed that. I realize a lot of you that watch this channel are either having a baby or just had a baby, so I've decided to sit down and talk to you guys again in front of this old window with my neighbors Al and Kathy out there. Hey guys, here are some newborn baby hacks that you need to know. You might not actually need to know them, but I'm gonna tell you them. So. Before I got pregnant, I'm pretty sure I knew absolutely nothing about babies. It was actually a little bit scary how little I knew about them. If I saw one, I was probably like, okay, yeah, that's kind of gross. And now after being pregnant and having a baby, I'm like, oh my gosh, your baby sneezes too? But seriously, now that I have this channel and now that I have Emerson, I love talking about pregnancy and I love talking about babies. You guys send me a lot of questions on Instagram or wherever and I love responding to them. I seriously love talking to you guys about your babies and talking about my babies. I only have one, but you know what I mean. So I'm not going to describe the basics of newborns to you. Hopefully you know a little bit something, but these are things that you might not have thought about, or they're definitely things that I didn't think about. But that being said, let's start out with crying. The first thing you should do is go down the list. So are they hungry? Do they have a dirty diaper? Are they tired? If you check off all these things and your baby is still crying, then you're just screwed. I'm just kidding. There's actually a big number 4 that I for some reason didn't think of, and that is, does your baby need to burp? One of the big things with Emerson is that she had acid reflux, or she had some way of taking in a lot of air. So a lot of her fussiness ended up being that she just needed to get a huge burp out. There are so many different ways to burp your baby. I personally like the... If you've given them a good whack and that's still not doing it, then they might just be very tired. And sometimes, I don't know why, but they decide to fight sleep. That is honestly like so hard for me to understand. If you can sleep, just go to sleep. So maybe they just need a little bit of extra love. What worked for Emerson was me wearing her around in my like strap-on thing while I was just walking around the house. Maybe you could go outside. Emerson loved looking at the trees. So my next hack is that maybe you do have a gassy baby. If they are taking that air in and it's not coming out in a burp, it might come out in another way. Emerson ended up being a very gassy baby and we couldn't figure out why. You know, we looked at my diet and different things and she, no matter what, seemed to be very, very gassy. And if you run into this problem, what I would recommend is some toot exercises. No, pull my finger does not work with babies. So let's go to a demonstration. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. She did eventually grow out of being really gassy. Don't get me wrong, she still farts a good amount of times, but it's not uncomfortable for her. Now that we've talked about farting, let's move right along into poop explosions. What a lovely topic. Here's something that I found out recently that I did not know. 1 second. Alright, so here is a baby onesie, and you see how they have these little like flap things right here? I always thought it was so that you could get their giant head around it, but it turns out that these are actually so that you can pull the onesie down around their body instead of back over their head if they end up exploding up the back, so you're not smearing more of the loveliness up their head. So basically, go down and around and not up and over. Yay. This leads me into my next tip, which calls for another demonstration with my lovely assistant. So all you need to know is that when you're changing your baby's diaper, before you take off the first diaper, place the new diaper underneath and put them back down. Once you've taken off the old one, wipe them down, you simply pull out the old diaper and they land onto the fresh, clean diaper. I have saved many changing pad covers this way. This also helps if they tend to be a squirter because you can shut that down really quickly. If you take the whole diaper off and leave them there briefly naked, it's just asking for trouble. Moving out of the nastiness. So this next point comes from a question I got a lot, and that is, how do we make Emerson stop being nocturnal? As in, how do we get Emerson to stop sleeping during the day and start sleeping during the night? No one really told me much about how to do that. I ended up researching a little bit online, and this is the best that I came up with. Here is what not to do. Do not try to keep your baby up during the day so that they are more tired and sleep at night. That seemed like the logical thing to me, but that did not work at all. What basically ends up happening is that they are more grumpy and tired during the night, and they can be harder to put down or to get back to sleep. For a newborn, they need so much sleep that they are fine if they sleep during the day. So I was trying the bad method for 2 weeks, and I finally gave in and was like, okay, I'm going to let her sleep as much as she wants during the day, and I'm not going to stop that. That is when things started getting better at night. One of the things that I did to move the process along was to try and make it as clear as I could that it was nighttime or that it was bedtime. I did that by kind of trying to establish a routine a little bit. I did everything in a dark room, and I would have her noise machine on, and I would feed her without talking to her, without interacting or stimulating her, so that she kind of got the idea that it was bedtime and not the middle of the day and not playtime. That is way easier said than done. It honestly just took her a couple weeks to figure it out. No, probably more than that, but you'll get there. I honestly feel like I could talk about this all day, guys, so if you do have more questions, leave them below. But here's my last hack, and that is to try and get out of the house. Try to keep doing, you know, what you would be doing, if that makes sense. Honestly, for the first like 3 weeks of her life, I was basically confined to my room until like noon every day is when I would leave and finally get something to eat, and that's horrible. And looking back, I don't even know how that happened, but there was just so many things I needed to do for her, and anytime I put her down, she would cry. So by the time I had fed her and changed her and all these things and she was comfortable, it was like noon and my day was half gone. But I noticed that she did so much better when I was going out and about, dang, when I was going out and I was trying to do different errands or different things, or even just going on a walk. Like, she did so much better being outside. She loved the fresh air and seeing things, and I noticed she did better when I wasn't trying to adjust my life as much to her routine, but kind of trying to get her onto my own routine. Not that I had a routine and I wasn't forcing anything, but she seemed to do so much better. Your life could be completely different. If you guys do have any more questions, totally feel free to send those to me on Instagram or tweet me or however you want to get in touch with me. I will try to answer them. I don't have the most time in the world, but I will try to answer them. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you are new, be sure to hit subscribe. I will be making more of these, and go check out our family vlogs on this channel. It's been so nice sitting down with you again. My neighbor's about to mow his lawn, so I really have to go. I love you. Bye! I love you. You love me. You love our vlog family.